Welcome YouTube. So I'm going to do another little bit of an introduction into myself because my channel's new and obviously I want to get people to know us. So I'm pretty much a endurance coach, personal trainer and a nutritional advisor. So they're my three qualifications. They're my proper qualifications. And I'm an endurance coach, an ultra marathon runner, even though I've only done two and didn't complete either of them, but we'll talk about them stories another day. But I do want to talk about this rat race one because it highlights more tall poppy syndrome. So this video is basically about tall poppy syndrome. So this is my second video that I'm going to do about tall poppy syndrome. I'm going to create a full series of tall poppy syndrome, highlighting all the different versions of tall poppy syndrome, how it's in every single aspect of life and in your workplace, it's culturally ingrained into us for some reason. But it's not like that in most places in the world. It's only prevalent in places like Australia and the United Kingdom. Some people say it's in America, but it's not really, because American people, as you know, a YouTuber in America, they become ultra successful. Whereas a YouTuber in the UK, totally different ball game. But things change in life and we can work on it and we can highlight it. There's no need to be negative about it. It's something we'll all have to deal with. So this, I'll just quickly show you. This was the wall 2023, last year. So this race, the rat race, is the hardest race to get into. So I had to buy my ticket for that race in 2022. 1 year exactly before I entered it. So in 2022 June I paid £350 to enter this race, and then I told my boss, because I worked at the RVI at the time. The RVI is a hospital in Newcastle. Most people know about it. It's actually the second best hospital in the world, in the country. So when I was working there, I told my boss, look, I need to put this holiday in 1 year in advance. He just told me to come back nearer the time. And then when I went back nearer the time, he tried to refuse me the holiday time. And he tried to just say, oh, you can have a long weekend. And I tried to explain to him that it was a 113 kilometre run. I won't be back. I won't be ready to return to work because I would have ran so far. And if there was a whole load of tittle tattle. I ended up sending an email in to HR, CC'd everybody in, and shit just hit the fan. But there was just no way I was letting him stop me from doing this race. So what ended up happening was I quit my job. I ended up quitting my job. And it turns out that it was actually what was happening was called a constructive dismissal. Because what happens in this world is if you're outside of work doing things that enhance your life, your job doesn't like that, because you're putting your job at risk in their eyes. They think if you're out running 100 miles that you're potentially going to get injured and then you can't come to work. But the truth is, there's nothing they can do about it if you get injured or if you get sick or ill. But they will try and tall poppy you to make you feel like you shouldn't be doing all this stuff outside of work. But what do I do? My boss used to say to me, we live to work, not work to live. But that's not the case. You work to live, and that is the truth. So when people tell you need to live to work, that's tall poppy syndrome. Also, another thing about, anyway, I'll quickly touch. So that ended up me quitting my job, getting level 2 qualification and 2 level 3 diplomas after that, and then becoming a personal trainer. And now I'm sitting with a YouTube channel and I'm in the best health of my life. So this is what can happen if you understand tall poppy syndrome. It can change your life. So other little tall poppy syndromes, we talked about Caitlin Clark in the last one. Now Caitlin Clark ended up becoming the #1 ranked rookie of the year, 66 votes to 1 over Angel Reese. But in England, we're going to talk about tall poppy syndrome. I'm a Geordie, as you can tell. Newcastle United became the richest club in the world, and then 7 days later, after loads of other clubs like Tottenham Hotspur and Liverpool and Arsenal all getting the Premier League to put blocks on Newcastle from spending money to become successful, is another version of tall poppy syndrome. And that's what the problem is. And Goggins says it as well. So if you're a runner, and everybody knows about Goggins, when Goggins says people don't want to see you doing better than them, that is where it comes from. That's what he means. It's tall poppy syndrome. People don't want to see you doing better than them. But it's just one of them things that if somebody puts more work in than me, then they're going to be better than me. And it's just a fact of life. And it's something that it's really difficult to get over. So Newcastle United have actually now, well, Manchester City did it for them, but they've won the case. So now they're going to be able to spend the money and become the true success. And money does bring success. So I'm somebody who doesn't have a lot of money, but I understand that I need to buy things. I've got a nice new mobile phone here. And I've got a nice new mobile phone which cost us £1,200, and that's for me creating content on. 2 seconds, I'll just make the video. So yeah, that's it. You're basically now on level 2 of what tall poppy syndrome does to the world. I'm going to just check to see how long this video has been on for. Yeah, we're at 7 minutes. That's probably enough. Give you a little gist. I'll do the 3rd episode maybe next week, and then we'll pick up from there. And one more thing I want to touch on is England have just had a new manager, and he's German. There's going to be loads of people not happy about that, and again, that's tall poppy syndrome, because some people would rather see an England manager be successful rather than a German one. But there you are, guys. Tall poppy syndrome, episode 2.